I started weight training a couple years back. It was when I was quite anorexic. I had gone through stages of my life. When I was young, around 15, I was quite fat. I was a chubby kid growing up. I ate super unhealthy foods like pizza, fucking microwave meals, and ramen noodles, and all this bad junk food full of sugar and things on the label that you can't even read or understand what it is. I grew up super unhealthy. As a kid who was left to my own devices, who didn't have the parents around to help support and put food on the table, I was really figuring it out to myself. If I'm hungry, I'll just eat that. If I'm hungry, I'll eat that. And it got to a point for me where I was quite overweight because of these decisions. And as a 15, 14-year-old boy, I was very unhappy with the way my body looked. I couldn't go to a swimming pool and take off my shirt. I couldn't walk around without sucking in my cheeks or tucking in my belly. I had to look and pretend and put on this look that I wasn't as big as I actually was. I don't even think it helped what I was doing. It just made me feel more insecure about the way I actually was. I had this insecurity for so long that I was so depressed, not only by the way my body looked, but all the things that would come from it. My friends would call me fat. My dad and my cousins and everyone would pick on me for being fat. I remember specifically, I was at this water park with my cousins, and this random guy, he called me fat. And I was like, who are you talking about? Like trying to play it off like he wasn't talking to me. And my cousin, he looks at me and he was like, he points at me. And he's like, he's talking about you. That hurt. That hurt like a fucking brick thrown at me. My own family calling me fat, but that hurt. And since then, I've had this insecurity about being fat. Having fat on my body, being chubby, being overweight, looking like that. It made me feel below everyone else. And I must have been 14 or 15 years old when I stepped on the scale and I read 180 pounds. Damn, I thought. My friends that are fit and have muscle, weigh this much. May not seem like a lot to you, but at that age, I was fucking mind blown. And when I got home, I decided it was time for a change. And all I knew at the time, how I was gonna change was, okay, I just gotta switch up the way I ate. I did the research. I put in the work. I learned, okay, I gotta diet. I gotta track my food. I got this app called Lose It. And I'll put in what I was eating. My goal, 130 pounds I wanted to hit. So I started tracking my food. I started eating healthier. And then I started going to the gym at school. Not to weightlift, but to do cardio. At my lunch break, I would go do a half an hour cardio session on the elliptical machine. That was my favorite. I used it all the time. I used half hour every day and I would try to beat my previous record. Or I would just try to go as hard as I could. I loved it when sweat drooped down my face. It felt like I was working hard and achieving everything I wanted, which was to lose weight and to be that ideal figure I had in my mind. So I would feel less insecure about myself, more proud of the actions I was doing. And it was working. I went from 180, 160, down to 150, down to 140, down to 130, then down to 120, and I even got down to 115. I was proud of myself. I was really proud of myself. I thought this was the ideal body, the skinny body. I'd worked my way down and I was quite anorexic at that point. I think I even got lower than that, but man, I did it. I worked past my insecurities, my anxiety, my stress, and I got to the point where I wanted to be. At that age, I think I must have been 15 or 16 years old when I hit that. I loved my body and the way it was, the skinny look. I felt so proud of myself, but I still wasn't happy. But these insecurities, they had driven me to such a point where I changed my life for the better. Where I stepped foot into that man who did the actions to get to that destination that he wanted. I couldn't handle being fat, so I driven myself to a point of being anorexic. Now there's a new problem. I went vegetarian and I was getting less and less protein and the nutrients I needed. And then I had a new problem. I'm too skinny. I'm weak. I felt weak, small, next to all my muscled up friends. So at this anorexic point, after getting to my goal, I knew I had it in me. I knew I had it in me to go to the next level. So I started learning through YouTube videos and watching these how-to tutorials on how to improve my muscle mass. What I need to do. I went to the store, I got muscle mass protein powder. Probably really bad for me now that I think about it. I dropped the vegetarian act because I was too skinny. And I started working out on my makeshift home gym I had, which had weights that went up to 25 pounds, but I could never lift that much weight. I was too skinny, too small. And I started slowly but surely doing it. So I would maybe do it a few times a week, once or twice. That must have been it. But I started, and it wasn't easy at all. I didn't know what I was doing, but I wanted it so bad. I wanted to be so comfortable in my body, like I never have been before. I had this punching bag, my mom's boyfriend's, and I would just beat the shit out of it. I would put Through the Fire and the Flames on it, and I would go to town on it. 1, 2, 1, 2. And that gave me confidence. The confidence of doing the work, putting in the actions, knowing, you know what, I will get to that spot in my life where I am confident, comfortable, and full of self-esteem that's so high. I could not handle the low self-esteem of my body in the way I was. I was so insecure growing up by all these jokes, this people picking on me and bullying me for my fat and my, bad times. It took a long while to actually see progress in my muscle growth, and I wasn't very consistent. I stopped working out for a time, started working, and then after I stopped working, I would work out. COVID-19 happened, 2020. That's when it really exploded for me, working out. I just started weightlifting all the time. I got all the free time in the world, but I got so comfortable being alone, isolated, and things through COVID just kept getting worse for me. The isolation, the loneliness, the drug use ramped up incredibly. So much so that became quite the issue. I'll make a video on that another time. But what got me through all these challenging times was my want and desire to work out, to improve my body, to improve my health, to improve the way I felt about myself through working out, through gaining muscle, through weight training. Whenever I wanted to quit substances and whenever I successfully did quit substances, weight training was always a priority in my day. It was always the number one thing I would do to get me through the day of withdrawals. To get me through the day of stress and anxiety, I would weight train because it made me feel incredible about myself. It was something I couldn't ever imagine doing without when I was on top of my game. Whenever I would have the best days, it would be because I weight trained. And whenever I wouldn't weight train, whenever I would go all into my substance use, finish off a bottle of wine and polish off a bag of smokes, I would feel terrible. Terrible that I not only did all these bad habits, but terrible that I didn't put one step forward in my weightlifting journey. I wasted so much time not working out. The progress slipped by, and I fell back into old habits. But what was always on my mind on the days where I wouldn't work out was weight training. I should work out. I should work out. I want to work out. Why am I not working out? This is what I want. I'm a sober man today. I don't do those bad habits. I don't watch pornography. I don't do drugs. And I don't play video games. And you know what's been on my mind? Working out. When am I going to work out? I've been at my cabin. It's almost like a vacation home. And I haven't been working out here. But you know what's been on my mind? When am I going to work out? How am I going to work out here? It moves the needle forward in ways that other things don't. So, here I am, only a few years into weight training. The years of COVID slipped by and I kind of fell off my wheel. I kind of fell off the horse through COVID. And I had to find my way back into the consistency. I always fall off, get back on, fall off, get back on. But that's what it is, it's a journey. You don't get to the destination without taking the journey there. And when I work out nowadays, it's almost like the most incredible part about my day. Everything's oriented around it. I'll stretch in the morning, get ready. Maybe I'll have a coffee, and then I'll get into the weight training. Then I'll stretch again. Even the food I eat is meant to cater towards my workout experience. Making sure I got enough protein. Making sure I'm eating healthy foods and not junk food. It's changed my whole outlook on life to be a healthy person. Weight training has done so much for me. The insecurities of being fat, yes, sometimes I still have them. I think that's a built-in trauma. But I feel good about myself and the work I've done and my body. Can it be better? It can always be better. But you know what? I put in the work and I'm getting to my desired outcome. My desired destination will arrive because I put in the work. And that's why weight training is so important to me. Because I'm working on myself and I'm getting to my goals and I'm achieving them through the hard work and dedication. And I've put the bad habits aside in favor of that vision of me. That version of me who is strong, who can look at himself and be like, wow, I'm a fucking Greek god. Holy shit, make a statue out of me, damn. Wouldn't you want that for yourself? That, just imagine, you're a marble statue and you got all that muscle that you've always wanted. And you just feel powerful. I want that for myself. And you know what? I want that for you too. Because we all deserve to feel like we're the best selves that we can provide to the world, the best of ourselves, the most authentic us, the best version of our potential that deserves to be brought out and shined out to the world. Not our weak, haggard, miserable, life-dreading selves that we hate to be in. We don't like that version of ourselves. We never have. If you're anything like me, and you love improving your life and growing, please leave a comment down below. Tell me your story about your weightlifting journey. How are you? Are you consistent? Do you need help getting back on the horse? Have you found it hard to just get into the gym? For me, I couldn't even get into the gym myself. I had to build myself a whole home workout gym just so I can do workouts at home. I'm not that social guy. So I completely understand. But if you want that uplifting connection, if you want someone who you can talk to about your workouts or your experience with your self-improvement journey, please click the link below. It'll take you to my free Discord and join it, and we can connect and talk from there. It's just a simple place where like-minded individuals can talk about like-minded things, self-improvement, growth, working on themselves. I'm a small YouTube channel. I would love to connect with as many people as I can. For your sake and for my sake, I'm sure we can help each other out. This is why I started Weightlifting Journey. To improve my life, to feel better about myself, and to fill my self-esteem to the highest possible potential it can be, so I can be the best version of myself. That's what I want for you. If you've watched this far into the video, please comment, like, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. This has been Anthony. I approve of this message.